Alright guys, I'm back with my review of this week's TNA Impact Wrestling for June 13th, 2013, the BFG Series Selection Show. And this was a good show this week. I know they're expected to do a low rating because of the basketball game or whatever, but I thought they put together a good show here, so hopefully they do get a good rating. Had a lot of matches, some good matches. The show starts off with Hulk Hogan coming out as usual. He says bullies mess with his family so much he sent Brooke home this week. He says all 12 participants in the BFG series will be decided tonight. We already know Samoa Joe, Hernandez, and Jay Bradley. And it's also going to be the last two winners of the series, Jeff Hardy and Bobby Roode. So he has Hardy come out, and Hardy says that he's going to win the series again. Roode comes out and says he was the longest reigning champion and the first winner. So Hogan says next week it's open fight night and the fans can vote for who gets the first call out between Roode and Hardy. Bully, Garrett, and West come out, and Bully says it doesn't matter who wins the series because he's the champion, and he wants to know why the Aces and Eights can't get in on the series. So Hogan says they get one spot, but they have to have a battle royal and fight each other to decide who gets it, which is actually a great idea. And Bully says anybody in this series has a target on their back, and Gunner and West hit the ring. Roode and Hardy fight them off, and then Roode takes a cheap shot at Hardy and runs off. Kazarian and Daniels cut a promo on James Storm and Gunner. So it's Bad Influence versus Storm and Gunner. The winners get into the series. Gunner goes for the gun rack on Kazarian, but Daniels throws him to the outside. Storm hits a backstabber on Daniels and a code breaker on Kazarian. He goes for the super kick, but Daniels hits him in the back of the head with the tag title, and Kazarian rolls him up for the win. So Bad Influence is in the series. Backstage, Crimson has returned. That's the last thing I expected to see on this show. He's been gone a year, my God. So Crimson comes out and talks about his undefeated streak and how once he lost it, he was sent home. But now he's getting a chance to qualify for the Bound for Glory series, and I thought he actually cut a pretty good promo here. He's definitely improved in that regard. So it's Joseph Park versus Crimson. Crimson dominates Park. He charges the corner. Park moves. Crimson hits the turnbuckles, and Park rolls him up for the win. Great return. That was kind of a waste. Velvet comes out with an envelope for Mickey. It's clearance from her doctor so she can get her rematch. Mickey acts like it's fake and then attacks Velvet's injured knee. She gets her in a submission hold. Velvet's tapping out. Officials come break it up, so the heel turn is complete. Matt Morgan's pissed off. He has to qualify for the series. It's Matt Morgan versus Magnus versus Kenny King versus Rob Terry. Matt Morgan's the only one who gets an entrance, and he's still wearing that dumbass robe. The fans are behind Magnus here. Terry chokeslams King. Morgan hits the carbon footprint on Terry. He charges Magnus, but Magnus pulls the ropes, and Morgan goes over and hits the ramp. And then Magnus hits a Michinoku driver on King for the win. It was kind of short, but I'm glad Magnus went over here. Eric Young plugs his new TV show, which actually looks pretty entertaining. And he talks about facing Austin Aries to get in the series, and then he takes a shit. Sting comes out. He says Bully sent wave after wave until he was just overwhelmed. And he had to fend for himself out there. No one came to help him. And he says the Aces and Eights, they have each other's backs like a family. A family. Like a family. So he has to create his own family. A new main event mafia. I cannot wait to see what they do with this. Because they're either going to bring back guys like Kevin Nash, which is going to be horrendous, or they're going to bring in guys, possibly new wrestlers, who never really were in the main event. So that's the only way I see this playing out. I mean, Kurt Angle's going to be busy with this whole Rampage thing. AJ Styles is doing his own thing. You have Aries and Roode that could possibly be in a new main event mafia, but yeah, I'm curious to see how this one plays out. Eric Young with ODB versus Austin Aries. Aries does that thing where he spins around on top of Eric Young, and then Eric Young spins around on top of ODB. Aries wins with the Brainbuster. It was a good match. The Aces are talking about the Battle Royal backstage. Doc's not happy. He has to take a dive. Saban's not sure if he wants to give up the X Division title for a shot at the World title. You assume he will, because it kind of kills the stip if he doesn't, but maybe TNA wants to kill it off, because with Austin Aries it was a big deal. This was his shot, and you could tell he had a chance of winning. With Saban, if he cashes it in, you know he's not winning the title. It's just bad timing. So the Aces and Eights have their little battle royal where everyone takes a dive for Mr. Anderson. Anderson drew a card or something. That's how they decided he was going to go over. So he's doing all this goofy stuff, like he's acting like he shoots them, and then he, I don't even know. It was silly, but it comes down to Doc. And Doc doesn't want to take the dive. He tries to fight back, but Anderson throws him over the top anyway, and the Aces are like, "What are you doing?" Well, he is the director of chaos. Oh man, this is crazy. So backstage, Rampage is talking to Kurt Angle. They seem to be getting along. You kind of feel like it's going to blow up eventually. The Aces are pissed off at Doc. Anderson throws some beers, and Doc jumps up and down in frustration. He says everyone's always talking about stepping up, so he wants to take out AJ tonight. So the main event's AJ versus Angle. Great match here. AJ hits a DDT on Angle in the corner. The Aces hit the ring. AJ fights off Doc and Knox. Angle takes out Anderson, and then AJ rolls up Angle for the win. So AJ leaves, the Aces beat down Angle, and then Rampage runs out with a chain to chase the Aces away. So that was pretty much it this week. I'm not really sure what they want to do with Rampage. I kind of felt like he was going to be the heel going into this match with Kurt Angle, but now it's like they kind of want him to be a babyface, and they could do this whole thing where they have mutual respect for each other and they just have a match. But I think it would be better to give him some type of character. And honestly, if he's still going to be fighting, who knows how long Rampage is going to be around. It's going to be like The Rock in WWE, where you never really know how often the guy's going to actually be on the shows. It's just going to be sporadic appearances. So, I don't know, but as far as this Impact goes, all the Bound for Glory qualifying matches, I really enjoyed that. A lot of wrestling on the show, and I thought they did a good job this week. So that's my review of this week's TNA Impact. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments, and thanks for watching.